Bounces after making contact with the bat, so Colombo Kings will be happy that they've preserved this wicket. This partnership of 16 from 8 will continue. As we wait on confirmation from the umpire in terms of the decision. And not out it is. End of the 15th over, 150 for 4.
It is locked away. At the same time, the Tuskers had 149 on the board. Kings have got 150. 70 the need off the last 5, which was
exactly the same as what the Tuskers got in their last 5. So game on.
As long as Andre Russell's there. That's basically the key. Even more than that is not beyond his reach. Last 5 overs, Naveen ul Haq, change of ends. Those 2 wickets really brought the Tuskers back into it.
Yeah, they did that. And the only way the Tuskers were going to get themselves back into the game was by taking wickets. And I think in 2020 cricket, that's become more and more pertinent, is that wickets, the only way you stop the rate is by getting wickets. And that's why you want to be trying to select attacking bowlers, particularly through the middle, to take those wickets.
And that's why I think in T20 cricket that if you've got some seriously good bowlers in your lineup, I think you've got the edge. Seam bowlers, I think you've got the edge. I really do. Guys who can come back and pick up a quick wicket. I think the thought initially wasn't a big batsman's game. I think at the highest level, I think that's changed around a little bit. You've got some power players, that's important, of course, like the guy that's on strike now, Andre the Giant. But I think if you've got some good bowlers, particularly some good seamers who can do a job, I think that's really important.
Yeah, and in these conditions, your attacking spinners, particularly through the middle, are very, very important for you.
Russell on strike. Naveen ul Haq. Oh, that's a wide.
Again, you mentioned my name. It's getting a little annoying. I'd rather with Andre the Giant.
Sorry, my mistake.
It's a wide length that has really worked against Andre Russell, making him stretch, making him fetch that delivery. That's what Naveen ul Haq is trying to do to Andre Russell. He's got those 2 fielders wide, square of the wicket on the offside, no one behind square, even on the leg side. It was a shorter delivery that the quicker bowlers used against Russell, but in this IPL, which was concluded recently, they kept getting him out, caught in the deep on the offside. He pushes that front leg way on to the leg side. He's reduced that. And that's why it's hard to hit the one that's wide of off stump.
Let's just talk about his technique a little bit. The one thing he talks about all the time when you interview him is strength. He says strength is his game. End of story. That's where it starts and finishes. And as you mentioned, I was on the bounce. As you mentioned, he likes opening that stance, throwing that left leg out so he gives himself some room. That's all about strength. And he always bats deep in his crease when knees get boundaries as well. You can see him just hobbling a little bit there. Bats deep in his crease so that he can get underneath the ball.
Yeah, he can, and he does that so well. And by him going deep in the crease, he opens up the area from sort of wide mid on or wide long on, all the way around through the offside. The one thing setting up against Andre Russell is, and they did it very well in the RPL, was the pace bowlers to go short at him, because technically he was found wanting there a little bit, and then they did go wide to him, as Russell mentioned.
Let's have a look after the next delivery. Or we can have a look at it now. Look at that front leg, how far wide it goes. Yes, he's deep. And that will make him really stretch. Even though he relies on his power, it's important. Look at that. That's a problem. He's got to go towards the ball. Your energy needs to go through the ball as well, even though you have as much power as this Russell.
Oh, he slapped that one. That's gone pretty quickly, and it's gone through the hands for 4. There's the power.
Yeah, if you come into those areas for Andre Russell, he is going to punish you. He is, and with him by clearing the leg, he's almost opening up the leg side for himself. So that is why you've seen sides go wide and make him try and hit through the offside. And as you correctly said, Russ, he can't get his weight through the ball then because his weight's going towards the leg side.
Ends up slicing it.
Spot on, 100%.
Just the one other thing about his technique, he says you will never ever see him advancing towards the ball. He says, and as far as he's concerned in his mind, that is a complete waste of time. That negates his opportunity to get underneath the ball. You will never ever see him do it. Underneath that, and he smacked that into the stand, has he? My goodness, that is a sensational shot. That's a My 11 circle champion shot.
And the thing with that was exactly as we were saying, he cleared his front leg.
At the end of the 16th, 165 for 4, and it will be time for a strategic timeout.
Not just another cricket series. It's more than that. India's Tour of Australia streaming live from 27th November. And it's not just cricket, but a lot more on Sony. Subscribe now.
The game is the bottom line. Colombo Kings need 55 more from 24 balls, and it's all about Andre Russell. If he gets out, they're going to be in trouble.
For the Tuskers, it's about Pradeep. Here he is.
Whipped away leg side. Nicely stopped. And they come back for 2. That's good work on the boundary. Certainly saved 2.
Kusal Mendes. He's quick, agile, did enough to knock it on to Gurbaz. There he is. Releases it just in time. They need a lot of that.
I tell you also what is required by the Kings. This is the last ball before the break. What about that shot? That is just signature Andre Russell.
And that was right into his slot. He clears his front leg, he gets his weight through the ball, and that goes for 6. That's what makes him one of the best 2020 cricketers in the world.
That's high. It should be taken. And it is taken. Now, these wickets are very important. The deeper they go into the lineup, the better off the Tuskers will be. It's not Russell, but they'll be quite happy with that wicket.
That is a very good catch out there as well. Very, very good catch. Got himself into a good position, got nice and stable, nice and still, and pouched it. Really good wicket.
Ashan Priyanjan's the man gone. 8 off 7. It's 167 for 5.
Flash. You have been flash.
Andre Russell's on striker before that wicket. Short delivery down the leg side, had to get underneath that. That's very well bowled.
Yeah, it is. Nuwan Pradeep does this. He goes wicket to wicket. He angles the ball slightly back in onto the stumps and can be very effective on wickets like this, particularly at the death.
He's showing some great variations. That was the back of the hand slow ball that got the wicket. Then to Russell, he follows up with the bouncer. What has he got now, coach?
Full and straight.
Here we go. Only 2 runs from the over so far. Oh, that's beautifully bowled.
He's bluffed the coach, so he's certainly going to bluff the batsman.
As they say, nose and toes.
Yeah, but this is good. This is well executed. Did mention that as Russell is key for the Tuskers, it's Nuwan Pradeep who's going to be... It's the other way around. Russell key for the Kings. For the Tuskers, it's Nuwan Pradeep. It's a great battle.
Now, this could well be out. It is. That is a huge wicket. That is a massive wicket. Very comfortably taken. That's a couple of wickets in this over. Smiles all round in the middle. That is outstanding stuff from the Tuskers.
I reckon that's the game. If he hasn't overstepped, that's the game. And he's perfectly fine. That's the game. Very well bowled, Nuwan Pradeep. You've come on and you've changed the game this over.
He's shown a lot. He's shown his experience. He's shown that he can execute under pressure. Andre Russell, as long as he's there, he will intimidate anyone. But Pradeep's come up with a back of the hand, slow ball through bounces, that wide Yorker, and he gets rid of Russell for 24. It's 167 for 6.
Last ball of the 17th over. Just going to be the single. That is a magnificent over. A couple of wickets and conceding just 3 runs. That is magnificent for over number 17. 168 for 6. The more you look at that match summary, the more you think that the Tuskers have got this one in the bag. Colombo need 52 from 18 balls. They've still got 4 wickets in hand. Someone's got to play out of their skin totally in the next 3 overs.
Well, if there's someone who can do it, it's Isrudana. Not a lot to come. Dushmanta Chami, Rami Loponsu and Goni. Can't rely on them. Case Ahmed is the other batsman now with Isrudana. The wicket. The wide Yorker. And the bounce. A cramping Russell for room. And once again, a very good catch in the deep. Because he had to wait and wait. And it comes through those light towers in the dark sky. Never easy.
Off the mark, Case Ahmed doesn't mind giving the ball a bit of a nudge. He's done that for the Hobart Hurricanes in the past. Now here's a champion fan of the day on your screen at the moment. He's enjoying the match. My 11 Circle champion fan. Of course, if you want to be one of those, you can pick your side on the My 11 Circle and play with the champions. You look pretty happy.
Yeah, he was very happy. He's clearly supporting Candy Tuskers.
He's a Tusker man, yeah. Underneath that, that's gone high. This should be another one. Oh, it's down. It's dropped. Kushal Mendes is the man that grasped that one.
Just said he was a brilliant fielder, Kusal Mendes. Just repeated what you told me, Mickey.
Yeah, he is. He is a very, very good fielder. Got great hands. No excuses though. You got to catch those. Got to catch those.
We'll have to bowl that one again.
They put down a few, the Tuskers. Dinesh Chandimal early, that almost came back to hurt them very badly. But at this stage, it's hard to think that they're going to pay a big price for this one. But at the end of the day, you want to be maintaining very high standards.
No, they won't pay a price for this one, but I don't think they've fielded well throughout the game.
Greg's hit would have been in trouble there too. Got himself 50 earlier today. Played very well. Gurbaz.
Oh, he's miles out. He miles out. And Gurbaz, what one could say, set the momentum and the tone for the performance of Candy Tuskers today. You always talk about whether you bowl the first ball or whether you face the first ball. It's your responsibility to set the tone, and he did that.
That is a very good shot indeed. That's right out of the screws, and that's gone for half a dozen. Nicely played.
He won't give up. Isrudana. He's a street fighter.
Where was that, Russ? Was at Supersport Park. He smashed the South Africans around. Terrific knock.
Supersport Park, Wanderers, the Bull Ring.
Everywhere.
St. George's Park. Any more parks you have out there, Mickey?
He can bat, Isrudana, and he's worked very hard at it. And he's getting the just rewards for his efforts. He's a cricketer who works so hard on his game, so disciplined.
That's great. Nice to hear. Slice that away. And he sliced it away superbly. That's another 6. That is brilliant. A couple of 6s in a row. That certainly helps the cause. So 17 off that over. 185 for 6. Really is quite remarkable. They both brought up their 50 in 3.5 overs. And very close all the way through. It's just got away from the Kings a little bit. But they're getting some boundaries now, which makes it very interesting.
And it gets easier because he's overstepped. Nuwan Pradeep's bowled a no ball. And it's not a front foot no ball. There has to be 4 fielders in the circle at this stage, and there have been only 3. The call came from square leg.
Well spotted by the umpires. Attention to detail, Mr. Kusal Janeth. Attention to detail.
Now, this is a captain's nightmare.
They still have only 3 in the circle, so they still haven't figured it out. And that's gonna hurt. Now, straight away, 30 off 12 required.
Exactly. And that means that this now becomes a very big over. You can't allow yourself too much off the last over. Over number 19 has got to travel.
This is a free hit.
You're almost talking about one ball here. This ball goes for 6. It changes the complexion of the game.
Bottom end of the bat is still going to go for a boundary. 4's okay.
My 11 circle. Champion shots on show. More and more. Case Ahmed, couple of boundaries. And they're back in it. Couple of sixers in the previous over from Mitsuru Udana. We were referring to those scores in South Africa. Port Elizabeth, he made 78. 84 at the Centurion, 36 in Johannesburg.
Can they get 14 off the next 5? Oh, there's a swing and a miss. Ahmed, swing and a miss. That's a dot ball. They didn't need that.
Slower one.
No, they didn't. With 26 of 10, you're probably looking at 4 boundaries at least in the next 10 balls to win the game.
Which means leaving what in the last over? What do you think?
I reckon you want to be last over. You don't want to be more than 15.
That's a very good shot. That's just one bounce and that's gone for 4. That'll help the cause, that's for sure. And that's the very good shot indeed.
On the stroke of midnight, Case Ahmed. Just smacks another mile 11 circle champion shot.
You've always been ahead of your time, Russ.
The scoreboard. The scoreboard's saying midnight. It's certainly not. 12 minutes to go.
Exactly. Stay with us, Russ. Stay with us.
Cinderella still in the game.
Your pumpkin carriage hasn't come yet, Russ.
22 from 9. Ahmed back on strike. He's got to continue this. So 2 4s off the first 2 balls, including that no ball, and a dot ball, then a 4.
You said 15 off the last. Case Ahmed thinks 10.
Oh, it's another dot ball. He knows that's exactly what they don't want.
I like the groan from Case Ahmed each time he swings and misses. We've heard a couple of those. Nuwan Pradeep again bowling it into the pitch, Mickey.
Yeah, and against the tail, that's probably the way to go.
See the reaction from Udana at the non-strikers end? Just 20 years of age, Case Ahmed. Drag that on the onside. Udana slips, so it's only 1.
Sure, that was tactical so that he gets the strike off the last ball.
And this ball needs to really go for 6 for them to have any chance. I just hope he hasn't done himself a mischief.
When I went round to interview Herschel Gibbs, there's a lot of dew around there at the moment on the outfield and around the place, and obviously on the side of that foot. If you don't get planted properly, away you go. He seems okay now.
Almost looks like he's got a lot of mud underneath that boot.
That's quite a bit.
Last ball, the over. Just wants the single.
He wants 20 off the last. It's 200 for 6 of 19.
A curious single off the last ball, the last over. Brings Udana on strike. It was a bit of a half volley, really. Might have thought about thrashing it through the offside for a boundary. He didn't. He's left himself with 20 to get off the last over.
He wants to boss the last over. Asela Gunaratne with the ball.
Too high on the bat. It's going to be safe enough. It's just going to be a single. No, they're going to come back for the second. And they do.
Kes Ahmed doing the right thing. He went. He made sure that Isru Udana comes back and has the strike. So even if he gets out, it doesn't matter. Udana is on strike.
That's right. Exactly the right thing to do, Russ. And Isuru Udana's clearly backed himself in here to try and win the game for his team.
17 from 5 for a super over. Oh, that's a friendly full toss. That's a bit of a buffet ball. And that has been hammered for 6 runs. That is right out of the middle. That is nicely played. Now that's going to get the boys thinking a bit.
Mickey, we did say the drop of Kusal Mendes is not going to hurt them. He actually dropped Isru Udana, if you remember.
So he did, Russ. So he did. And Isuru Udana, I promise you, is thinking 2 hits and 4 balls wins us this game.
Is he going to go straight? Long on, long off, or both wide?
No, he's going to clear his front leg. He's going to try and go mid-wicket again.
Extra cover, no. Oh, goodness me. There's an appeal. There certainly was a noise, but I'm not sure there's any connection with the bat.
No review. No review at all. And that was a very poor review that the Tuskers did take. So the white call comes. 11-4. That's what the Kings need.
And I've now moved to the Kings. Kings should win this.
And so has that super fan we saw a while ago.
Yep, he was excited.
11-4. The game does not disappoint again.
Extraordinary. Oh, it's a full toss, and it's been hammered, and it's gone almost straight, and it's gone for 6 more runs. This is magnificent stuff from Udana. He is pumped up in the middle.
This is amazing stuff from Isuru Udana. There we go. He took the one to get on strike. He did us all in. He knew. He backed himself. 20 in the last.
2 full tosses. Asela Gunaratne really has to be disappointed at this stage of the game.
What's happening with this bowling? This is quite extraordinary, really.
What a partnership. 48 of 19.
Hirsch is very happy. That's lovely to see Hirsch.
5 off 3. Oh, it's a dot ball. This is a dot ball, I think. Yes, it is. And a wicket.
Guys, we could be here for a little bit longer.
3 off 5. That's what they need. Kes Ahmed. Well, it really didn't matter because Isuru Udana is still on strike and he's basically 1 strike away. It's actually 5 off 2 that's needed. Couple of lusty blows, boundaries for Kes Ahmed. He's contributed 15 off 8. The Kings 215 for 7.
5 from 2. That's what's required. Straight. That's the important thing about that shot. It's going to be 2. Come back comfortably for 2. I think we're steering to super over here, boys. Well, I don't know. How do you think about this? What do you call?
I reckon you're right, Hazy. I think we're here for a little bit longer. I think we might have a super over.
All I know is Cinderella ain't going to be there any longer.
I can tell you it's not going to be 3 runs. It's going to be a boundary or it's going to be a super over.
So what does Isarudana do? Does he look for the boundary or does he look for the gap? Does he go and swing?
Swings.
He swings.
Goes to the boundary. Plays his natural game.
Hold your nerve. Who's going to hold his nerve? Asela Gunaratne or Isarudana? It's a different ball game. It's not like hitting those sixers early in the over.
Here we go. 3 from 1. He's got underneath that. And is it going to be a super over coming back for 2? It is going to be a super over.
Super over.
Ah, there we go. It's a super over. We have a super over. What an extraordinary game this has been. Posting 219. And in reply, 219 for 7. We do have a super over. And this is going to be the first super over of the tournament, and it's going to go tomorrow.
Well done. It's the first game, Hazy, may I remind you. But great chase, 219, considering the conditions here in Hambantota, where it's hard to score runs. You never thought that the Kings would get anywhere near it. But they have Chandimal, then it was Russell, and now it's Rudana.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Extraordinary stuff. 34 not out off a dozen balls. Strike rate of 283 for Adana. He's very disappointed, you can see. He tried to get that 21 off the last over. In the end, he got 20.
To be fair, 34 of 12 from Isarudana is a fantastic knock right at the back end of that game. And coaches will be getting together with the captain, deciding on who's going to come out. We'll have the Colombo Kings batting first. What's your combination, Russ?
No brainer. You keep sending the Russells out there. 52 of 19 they made since the dismissal of Andre Russell. That's what Isarudana did when everyone thought the game was over. Brilliant. He took control and did the job. 219 for 7. Great chase. Dinesh Chandimal at the top. He batted brilliantly. Some wonderful shots. The last ball. Goni. Touch. Back. Needed a very, very good throw which never came. Herschel. Well, he looks like he's won the cup.
Smiles from the boys there. Certainly eager to make sure they get back for that second, which they did in the end quite comfortably. But Adana was just superb. He really was. And the way that he took the responsibility, I think, of that last over was quite magnificent. It's just a great pity as far as he's concerned. And I guess also the Kings that he couldn't steer at home. The Tuskers are having a nice chat right now. Just trying to work out exactly what they want to do, how they're going to go about it, who the players are that are going to be involved in the super over. As we look back at the match summary, the Tuskers 219 for 3. Kushal Pereira 87 off 52. Gabaz 53 off 22 deliveries. Ahmed and Goni and Chamura each picked up a wicket. And the Kings in the end also 219 for 7. Chandimal played really well for his 80 off 46, and that's really good to see, because as soon as he came out there he was hitting the ball very crisply and hit some terrific boundaries to get him going. Madonna 34 unfinished, and Russell was handy, and Pradeep 2 for 34 off his allotted overs, and 2 for 40 to Naveen as well. Match tied, we go to a super over.
So how it works is the Kandy Tuskers will come out to field. Last over, 20 required. 2 off the first. That knock on from Mendes just allowed them to get back, sneak in. Case Ahmed got home. Oh dear, oh dear. Friendly full toss. The way she went, the pressure on the Tuskers, but you've got to give credit to Gunaratne. Those last 3 deliveries, he got it right. Dot ball run out didn't matter. But from then on, Isuru Dana just couldn't get underneath it. Couple of twos. And we're still here.
We're still here, so it looks like Nuwan Pradeep to bowl for the Candy Tuskers. And you would have thought it's Andre Russell. Oh, and Isuru Dana coming out.
You sound surprised?
Yeah, well,
and the way he's striking
Why
it.
does that surprise you?
Because
Do you want to just leave here now, or do you want to stick around a bit longer?
No. To be honest, he played exceptionally well. I would have gone back to my batsman. I would have gone back to Chandimal to come out with Andre Russell and perhaps left Isuru Dana at number 3.
But Chandimal's got to play himself back in, whereas Udana, he's just been in there. No surprises with the bowling. Nuwan Pradeep has been outstanding for the Tuskers, and he's their most experienced bowler.
Yeah, I would have gone. I certainly would have had Dinesh Chandimal coming out with Andre Russell.
I think you're probably right, actually, thinking about that. I might have gone the same.
Who'd be the third player coming out to bat?
I think that'll be Chandimal or Laurie Evans. One of those two.
Got to be Chandimal now. Third. Nuwan Pradeep is going to be doing the job for the Tuskers.
He got him out once. Can he get him out again? Nuwan Pradeep.
Very good to see the players turn around very quickly. I've seen teams in this situation take quite a bit of time to get organised and come out again to start proceedings, but they've turned this around very quickly and just about ready to go. So Udana it is at the non-strikers end at the moment.
Izzy had the Tuskers dizzy for quite a while.
Here's the start of the super over. Oh, that's nicely bowled. That is gold. That sort of delivery to Andre Russell in a super over.
That's what he does, Nuwan Pradeep. He sort of angles the ball back. So he's always coming back. He's always challenging your stumps and your pads. And that makes him quite tough to play at the back end of the innings.
He's having a sneaky look on the leg side.
He likes it there and down the ground.
Mid-off inside the circle. Oh, that's a good connection. It's gone high, though. Not far enough. It could be out. It is out. So that's an important wicket in the super over.
Nuwan Pradeep with the slower delivery, but it was Kusal Mendis. He had a long way to run, 15 metres to 20 metres. A tough chance, but they picked up a wicket. Look at him go. Position himself and make sure that he hangs on to it this time.
Yeah, it was the one in actual play that cost Candy Tuskers quite a lot when he dropped Isuru Dana. The most important thing with this, though, is that Andre Russell's got back on strike. And I think that's really important.
Angelo Matthews, the captain, comes out.
You see, I don't mind Angelo coming out at 3, but you had to have Chandimal batting, because what that gives you is good cricket shots, and at least he'll be hitting the holes in the field and at worst running 2. He won't be wasting any deliveries, and that's the danger when you send a tail ender in.
Now that's a very good hit indeed. That is a wonderful hit. That is terrific stuff from Andre Russell.
He was expecting that. The Yorker first up, got away with it, then he bowls the shorter one. Russell was ready for that. That's a miss hit, but still it goes so far away. It's gone all the way to Kataragama.
Strength.
Is that close to Colombo, Russ?
It's down here in the deep south.
2 wickets and teams are away, by the way. That means they're out. There's two wickets, 2 dismissals. Nicely bowled again onto that, the blue boot, I think, not the yellow boot, the blue boot.
That's not a mix-up. That's in style. Geez, that's hard to execute. Did you see what Nuwan Pradeep did? Back of the hand, and he's got it at a Yorker length.
That is unbelievably bold under pressure after just going for a 6. That is an unbelievable comeback ball. What's good for Candy is that it's got Russell off strike as well.
Bowling coach of the Tuskers, Nuwan Kulasekara. Been a fantastic player for Sri Lanka.
He could hoop it around. 2 balls left in the over. Full toss. Worked on the onside. No one down there. That's gone for 4.
And suddenly the Tuskers have a big chase on their hands. 1 more ball remaining. The Kings have got up to 12 already.
Yeah, if this one goes for a boundary, it's going to be a tough chase. I'm just trying to have a look, and my thoughts gone back to the next combination. Isuru Udana bowls for the Kings. Do you guys think that's the right way to go?
Isuru Udana it would be. But who's going to be batting? Gurbas, Kusal Pereira, Kusal Mendes.
Spot on, Russ. Spot on.
Last ball. He's going to have to bowl that again, I think. Yes, he is. And the danger here is that Andre Russell's got back on strike for the last ball. This is a perfect plan as far as the Kings are concerned.
Going for that wide Yorker, it swung. That's harsh. I know why Nuwan Pradeep looked disappointed, because he got it perfect, but you can see it hoop just a wee bit. I wouldn't have minded if Lyndon Hannibals had let that go.
Where does he bowl this?
He has to bowl it, does he? He does. The wide Yorker.
Wide Yorker.
Because if he doesn't bowl it, Russell can't hit it.
No third man deep. Wide Yorker.
That front leg will get out of the way for sure.
No, he's coming in straight here. Straight Yorker.
He's dragged it. Going to try and come back for 2. They should be able to come back for 2. That's a good total now. That's a very good total. So that's the end of the over. 16 on the board. That is considered pretty reasonable stuff for a super over. So 1 over gone. Andre Russell 8 not out. Matthews in the end 4 not out. So 16's on the board. What are your thoughts, boys?
Well, my thoughts were that the Candy Tuskers had got a couple too many in the first game and in the actual game, and the game was tied. So I'm not going to call it, although runs on the board for me is always massive. So I think they've got enough.
Udana with the ball. So he'll look to defend these 16 runs, and you have to back him. With his skill set and thought process, Kusal Mendes not in any hurry. That's an indication of those rushing off to prepare themselves to bat. Kusal Pereira, we saw him walking off briskly, and that's a no-brainer. He and Gurbas do have to come out. Well, the Tuskers 219. How did they let this happen? And it comes down to that third department that's so crucial, Mickey. Call Shane. Let him know what your thoughts are.
It's saying that, and we're talking about our Sri Lankan coaching staff. The other, our fielding coach Shane McDermott, he'll be all over this, because in terms of where we want to be, it is so important that your third discipline is very, very good, and it's a non-negotiable.
Dinesh Chandimal made 80 of 46. He was dropped very early in the second over. And then Isuru Udana, 34 of 12, which got the Kings to this situation. He was dropped at 8.
Exactly right, Russ. And those were, I mean, they'll be ruining them in that Candy dressing room if they don't get in tonight.
Work got out. Nuwan Pradeep tried one short ball, but a miss hit from Andre Russell flew over. And then one got away from him, and it was a full toss. That's what's allowed the Kings to get to 16. They bowled well. His four overs, Nuwan Pradeep did exactly what his captain wanted him to do. Got his team back in and led that attack. But that's the nature of the game. Sometimes you get it right, but it does run away from you.
A just think about this total now. I mean, 16 in these sort of conditions. The boundary is 70 metres. The track's very good. It's coming on the bat nicely. There's a bit of dew around as well, which makes it a little bit more challenging for the bowlers. I mean, 16 is something that's, it's a pretty good total as we look at the over bowled. But it's not something that's impossible to chase. It's probably something that is fancied, I would imagine. 16, 17 to win in this sort of situation.
Great catch from Mendes to get rid of Isuru Udana, but then this one flew. Top edge. But those Yorkers were good from Pradeep. Even Andre Russell had no answers to that.
Yeah, they were good, and I agree with you. I think he might have just got a little bit unlucky there on that wide, and suddenly his over's gone for 16. I don't think he bowled that particularly poorly.
Paid the price for getting that ball to swing. Yeah, 12 or 13 could have fancied themselves more, but it comes down to belief. They got batsmen who can chase this down.
With boundaries in the first couple of balls. Got to get boundaries early.
Yeah, they do. And the old adage is whatever your decision is. So when Isuru Udana gets to the back of his run-up, he's got to commit to the decision that he makes. Same with the batsman. If you get hesitant in this situation, you of no price. So commit, back yourself, and you could end up here on the winning side.
There's no doubt also that the experience of someone like an Angelo Matthews comes into play as well in this sort of situation, chatting to his charges so that there's clarity in the bowler's mind, so the bowler knows exactly what he's expected to do. That's a good start. Get a cloth for the ball.
Still waiting for the Candy Tuskers batsman.
You got to get here from Candy.
Who is it? Oh, yep.
Kusal Jana.
It's number 153.
Great start to the tournament. 219, playing 219, and it's a super over. Some wonderful batting, some great skills.
There has been, Russ, and I think that's what this tournament's going to bring. We spoke about it before the game, around the fact that there are so many young, talented Sri Lankan cricketers, and the stage for them is this stage is as big as some of them are going to play on. It gives people an opportunity to play under pressure with expectations. All the teams have a fairly big fan base now, so it's preparing these guys for the next level.
Yeah, Kusal Pereira and Ramanullah Gurbas walking out. He'll be tired. He's batted almost the 20 overs. He's kept for 20 overs, 21 overs.
He has, and just at the back end of our camp, he had a slight groin strain, our test camp in Kandy. So I just hope he doesn't do himself any mischief.
Let me just throw this out there. If the scores are tied here in the Super Over, it's a count back to the most number of boundaries in both the game and also the Super Over.
So we're going back to June of 2019. Referring to the World Cup final, Hayes. We just kept going and going and going, and we just couldn't separate those two teams. What a fantastic game that was.
Extraordinary.
It was an amazing game. Doesn't it seem a long time ago now, considering what the world has gone through in the last couple of months?
Left-hand, right-hand combination, Kusal Pereira. He's going to take strike. 6 balls, 17 required.
Gurbaz and Pereira, they're the two batsmen. Udana is going to be the bowler. He's got all sorts of variations. Udana with his left arm fast medium, back of the hand, 3 or 4 slow deliveries.
And he's got a backed offside field.
He'll know exactly what he wants to do. The way that Isuru Udana is, he wants this. Isuru Udana trains for situations like this. If in the pressure situation, he always puts his hand up, and that was one of the things that came out of Bangalore as well. Was that they really appreciated the fact that so many people run away from this type of situation. Isuru Udana wants it all the time, and that's what makes him so successful.
Very experienced. And you can't run away. This is such a game that you have to react fast. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But you have to focus on what's next. Gurbaz is on strike. 2 men behind square in the circle on the offside. Deep point, deep extra cover. Long off. And then there's a deep mid-wicket. So there's no surprises what he's going to be doing. Left armour, Englet across the right-hander.
Yeah, but with slower balls. Otherwise, he'd have his third man back. Yeah. So he's got to bowl a lot of slower balls. Yeah.
There's those 2 men on the offside that are saving one. There's no one back at third man, and there's a big gap just to the right of screen now, which I'm sure with their slower balls is the cow corner region. I'm sure is where the batsmen are going to be thinking with their slow balls, but it's hard to fetch them with that angled across. He can go straight, I suppose. It's got to go straight back over the bowler's head. Also a little difficult. I'm sure that's going to be the plan. Slow balls across the batsman with no pace. Right, here we go. 17 to win. That's what's required. Udana. Oh, that was inventive.
There's no one in the deep there. And he's missed out. So that's a dot ball. Pressure building on the batsman.
Why did he go so far?
Because he's expecting the angle from the left armour, looking at the field.
That far as well?
No, certainly not that far. Certainly not that far. The idea was right. He just went too far across.
Chip that away, and that's gone for 4. That's nicely played.
Powerfully hit. Heavily guarded that offside field, but gave the fielder no chance. Probably 5 meters to his left.
It's sort of skimming off the grass, skimming off the dew. I'm surprised he hasn't gone slower ball yet. He hasn't gone the slower ball, particularly with his third man up in the ring.
I also heard on the stump mic, Isuru Udana making sure with the umpire, if he's going that far across, I can go wider. And he's right. If the batsman does go across, you get more of a margin.
Yep.
He did confirm that with the umpire, just reminding him, it's past midnight, you're up, aren't you?
Down the ground, straight. And that's gone for 6. That's an outstanding shot. That is a sensational shot. Goodness me. Brilliant stuff for the man from Afghanistan.
Wow. That is a very, very good shot. He's gone seam up again. He hasn't bowled a slow ball yet.
That's poor from Udana actually. Because his ball length, he's given that extra pace, which has allowed Gurbaz to hit through the line. Suddenly, 7 off 3.
Well, they should walk this now. They should get this. 7 off 3, you should get this. Oh, that's got to be called a wide, surely. He did move across, but still, it's got to be called a wide.
That was on the leg side. If he stood where he was, that would have been a wide, says the umpire.
No, the umpire's got it wrong.
Yeah, that's a wide.
That's a wide. Definitely a wide.
2 off 7. The game changes again.
Wow. Just the single. Slight fumble. No real problem. Just the one.
Oh boy, oh boy. Last ball, 6 required. Is that ball down the leg side going to be costly?
Should have been 1 run and an extra delivery.
And this is going to be the first ball that Kusal Pereira is going to be facing in this situation.
I don't want to harp on it, but it should be 5 runs from 2 balls. It's not. It's 6 runs from 1.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what it should be. Well, at least we can't have the tie again, unless there's an overthrow, 1 and an overthrow of 4.
Can he find the boundary? Kusal Pereira. He's certainly got the capability, certainly packs a punch. Here we go, Isru Udana. 6 required off the last ball.
Oh, he's hit it pretty well, but it's not going to go all the way. That's safe enough. That is it. The Kings have got up. That's extraordinary. That really is quite extraordinary. After a terrific total that was posted earlier by the Tuskers, the Kings scrambled and got themselves back into this game, went to a super over, and now the Kings have won this.
Incredible game of cricket. That really was, and a great way to start the tournament as well. Fantastic game of cricket that.
7 was required off 3 after those 2 blows from Gurbaz. Couldn't get it. They couldn't get it. The Tuskers, they'll feel hard done by. They'll let themselves down. 219. How did you let it get to this position? But you're right. Awesome game. Great game. It's kept us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, that was terrific. What a terrific game for game number 1 of this tournament. Everyone's been waiting for this sort of T20 franchise tournament to happen in Sri Lanka. It's underway now with a magnificent game that went to a super over. And there's going to be some smiling faces out there soon. There it is.
They've come from nowhere, come from behind. They won the toss, put the opposition in. The bowling didn't go to plan, but they've kept themselves in the game and found a way to get the points.
And the victorious coach, Herschel Gibbs, is very, very happy.
He's on the bounce. Herschel Gibbs. He's got his batsmen believing. It's come from all over. Kusal Pereira, brilliant early, 87 runs. Made sure his team got a big score on the board, but they failed to defend it. Colombo Kings coming into this game as favourites, having some super...
Cricket lover Kalamba, Pitia Yali Sarasa, Ekba Jaya Gamu, Lova Jaya Gamu, sing another Batura. It's the battle of the champions, it's the glory of the nation, it's a celebration, it's a revolution, you can feel it everywhere. அடியில சுத்தி இறங்குவோம் பண்டையத்தை நத்தியத்தை நோக்கி ஒன்று ஒன்ன கள்ளத்துல நெருப்பத்தை வீசி வெட்டையாட கட்டுக்குள்ள 11 சிங்க குட்டி வந்துருச்சு பொட்டி போட்டு போடுபட்ட பல்லையட்டை ஆடு கொண்ட தலை